How does one study the influence of Spanish and Portuguese drama on world theater? Spanish and Portuguese drama have had a profound influence on world theater, shaping the development of dramatic forms, themes, and styles across the globe. From the golden age of Spanish theater in the 16th and 17th centuries to the modernist experiments of Portuguese theater in the 20th century, the theatrical traditions of these two countries have produced some of the most innovative and influential works in the history of world theater. In this essay, we will explore how one can study the influence of Spanish and Portuguese drama on world theater, and discuss some examples of how this influence can be seen in different dramatic traditions. One way to study the influence of Spanish and Portuguese drama on world theater is to examine the ways in which these traditions have been adapted and translated for different cultural contexts. For example, the work of the Spanish playwright Federico García Lorca has been widely translated and adapted for different languages and cultures, and his influence can be seen in the works of playwrights from across the globe. Similarly, the work of the Portuguese playwrights Fernando Pessoa and Antonio José da Silva has been widely translated and adapted, with their innovative and experimental approaches to form and style influencing a wide range of theatrical traditions. Another way to study the influence of Spanish and Portuguese drama on world theater is to examine the ways in which these traditions have influenced the development of dramatic forms and styles. For example, the Spanish comedia, with its mix of tragedy and comedy, has been a major influence on the development of dramatic forms across Europe and the Americas. The use of heightened language, complex plots, and a focus on social and political themes can be seen in the works of playwrights from Shakespeare to Molière to Calderón de la Barca. Similarly, the Portuguese teatro experimental, with its emphasis on avant-garde experimentation and social critique, has influenced the development of experimental theater across Europe and the Americas. Another way to study the influence of Spanish and Portuguese drama on world theater is to examine the ways in which these traditions have influenced the development of specific theatrical movements and genres. For example, the Spanish zarzuela, a form of musical theater that combines spoken dialogue with songs and dances, has had a major influence on the development of musical theater across Europe and the Americas. The use of popular songs, the integration of dance and music, and a focus on contemporary social and political themes can be seen in the works of musical theater from across the globe. Similarly, the Portuguese teatro de revista, a form of political satire and social commentary, has influenced the development of political theater across Europe and the Americas. Finally, one can study the influence of Spanish and Portuguese drama on world theater by examining the reception and interpretation of these traditions in different cultural contexts. For example, the work of the Spanish playwrights Federico García Lorca and Pedro Almodóvar has been widely celebrated in the United States, with their themes of identity, sexuality, and cultural conflict resonating with American audiences. Similarly, the work of the Portuguese playwright Rui Zinck has been widely recognized in Brazil, with his experimental approach to form and style resonating with Brazilian theater makers. In conclusion, the study of the influence of Spanish and Portuguese drama on world theater is a complex and multifaceted undertaking, involving the examination of adaptations and translations, the development of dramatic forms and styles, the influence on specific theatrical movements and genres, and the reception and interpretation of these traditions in different cultural contexts. Through this study, we can gain a deeper appreciation of the rich and diverse theatrical traditions of these two cultures, as well as the profound influence that they have had on the development of world theater. By exploring this influence, we can gain a better understanding of the ways in which theater reflects and shapes the cultures and societies in which it is produced, and the ways in which it can bring people together and promote cultural exchange and understanding. Whether through the works of Federico García Lorca or Antonio José da Silva, the comedia or the teatro de revista, the zarzuela or the teatro experimental, the influence of Spanish and Portuguese drama on world theater is a testament to the enduring power and relevance of these rich and diverse theatrical traditions. By studying this influence, we can gain a deeper appreciation of the history and development of theater, as well as the ways in which theater can serve as a means of exploring and addressing contemporary social and political issues, and fostering greater cultural exchange and understanding.